The Proxima Station marketplace was a cacophony of alien languages, exotic scents, and the hum of anti-gravity cargo loaders. Ken navigated through the crowd with practiced ease, his human frame smaller than most species present. He'd been working as a freight coordinator for 3 years now, and the novelty of being surrounded by beings from 100 different worlds had long since worn off. That's when he heard the scream. It cut through the noise like a plasma blade through butter. High-pitched, terrified, and unmistakably young, Ken's head snapped toward the sound, his instincts overriding his common sense. Through a gap in the crowd, he spotted her. A small Zephyrian girl, no more than 7 in human years equivalent, her crystalline blue skin reflecting the station's lights in prismatic patterns. She was cornered against a closed shop front by 3 Kravik mercenaries, their scaled forms towering over her, weapons drawn. Ken didn't think. "He just moved. Hey," he shouted, pushing through the scattering crowd. "Leave her alone!" The largest Kravik turned, his reptilian eyes narrowing at the interruption. "Human," he hissed, the universal translator rendering his words with contempt. "This doesn't concern your kind. Walk away." Ken positioned himself between the mercenaries and the girl. "Can't do that." The Kravik's laugh was like grinding stones. "Foolish." His hand moved to his sidearm with practiced speed. What happened next occurred in heartbeats. The first shot caught Ken in the shoulder, spinning him partially around. The second hit his chest. Instead of retreating, he lunged forward, grabbing the Zephyrian girl and pushing her behind a cargo container. The third, fourth, and fifth shots punctured his torso as he shielded her with his body. Station security alarms began wailing. The 6th shot grazed his neck. The 7th and final round hit him square in the back as he collapsed, his last conscious thought ensuring the girl was hidden safely. Then there was only darkness. Pain. That was Ken's first sensation upon returning to consciousness. Every nerve ending in his body screamed in protest. But there was something else, pressure. Enormous pressure on his chest, warm and rhythmic, like a living blanket. His eyes fluttered open to find himself staring at smooth, violet-tinted skin stretched across what could only be described as a massive shoulder. Ken's gaze traveled upward to discover the face of a woman, if she could be called that, hovering inches above his own. She was huge, easily 8 feet tall, with features that were both alien and strikingly beautiful. Her skin bore the same crystalline quality as the little girl's, but in deeper shades of purple and blue. Her eyes were large, luminescent pools of silver that widened when they met his. "Mia," a voice called from somewhere beyond his limited field of vision. "Is he awakening?" The giant woman, Mia, apparently nodded, tears streaming down her face in rainbow cascades. She was lying partially on top of him, Ken realized, her larger frame covering most of his body in what seemed to be a protective embrace. "You saved her," Mia whispered, her voice melodic despite the translation. "You saved my daughter." Ken tried to speak, but his throat was raw. A medical drone floated into view, extending a tube that released cool water into his mouth. He swallowed gratefully before attempting again. "Is she okay?" Mia's expression crumbled into something between joy and anguish. "She is unharmed. Because of you. You took 7 bullets for a child you didn't know. A child not even of your species." Ken managed a weak smile. "Seemed like the right thing to do." A male Zephyrian entered his field of vision, nearly as tall as Mia, his crystalline features etched with an expression Ken couldn't quite read. "I am Torvax, Mia's mate and father to Lyra, the child you protected. The doctor said your injuries should have been fatal. 3 times over, in fact." Human stubbornness, Ken rasped. "We're hard to kill." "So we have learned," Torvax replied with something like reverence. "Your species continues to surprise the galaxy. We've heard the stories. Humans throwing themselves into impossible situations, surviving what should kill them, protecting others at cost to themselves. We thought them exaggerations." Ken coughed, and Mia's massive hand gently stroked his hair with surprising tenderness. "Please do not strain yourself," she said. "You've been in medical stasis for 4 days. Your body needs time to heal." "The mercenaries?" "In custody," Torvax confirmed. "They were wanted for trafficking. You stopped them from taking Lyra. The entire Zephyrian community on this station owes you a debt that cannot be repaid." Ken shook his head slightly. "No debt, just glad she's safe." Mia made a sound somewhere between a laugh and a sob. This is why they call your people the crazy ones, yes? The ones who cannot walk away from injustice no matter the cost? Something like that, Ken admitted. He was starting to understand the weight of Mia's presence on him wasn't entirely physical. It was protective, possessive even, the way a parent might shield their own child. You've been here the whole time, haven't you? Mia nodded. I have not left your side since they brought you from surgery. Among my people, when someone saves a child's life, they become part of that family. You are. You are packed now, Ken, whether you accept it or not. Mia refused to let anyone else watch over you, Torvax added, with what might have been amusement. Not even the medical staff could move her. A small figure appeared at the edge of the medical pod, the little girl, Lyra, her crystalline features reflecting nervous hope. Is the human going to be okay, Mother? Mia reached out one long arm to draw her daughter close while maintaining her position over Ken. Yes, little star. He will recover. Lyra looked at Ken with those large, expressive eyes. Thank you for saving me, human Ken. You were very brave. Ken felt his chest tighten with emotion that had nothing to do with his injuries. You're welcome, kid. Over the following weeks of recovery, Ken learned what it meant to be adopted into a Zephyrian family. Mia remained his constant guardian, her massive presence both comforting and overwhelming. Torvax visited daily with updates and gifts from the community. Lyra would sit beside his medical pod for hours, telling him stories of her world and teaching him Zephyrian songs. The station's human population buzzed with the story. Another example of human insanity, they said with pride. Shot 7 times and survived. Saved an alien child without hesitation. Classic HFY material. But Ken saw it differently. As he watched Mia's face light up when he took his first unassisted steps, as he felt Lyra's small hand grip his finger with trust, as he accepted Torvax's formal declaration of him as family, he understood that humanity's real strength wasn't in surviving the unsurvivable. It was in choosing to care when it would be easier not to. In standing up when sitting down was safer, in treating a stranger's child as precious as one's own. The galaxy was learning what it meant to have humans among them. And for species like the Zephyrians, it was a lesson written in sacrifice, survival, and an 8-foot alien woman who refused to leave a wounded human's side. Some bonds, Ken realized as Mia helped him walk down the station corridor with Lyra chattering excitedly at his side, were forged in the strangest circumstances. But they were no less real for it. Humanity had joined the stars not as conquerors or rulers, but as the species that couldn't walk past a child in danger. And somehow that made all the difference.